Back once again, family, friends, enemies, everyone. This is The World as We See It. I'm Baba Shaka. And before we get started, first of all, I'd like to thank those of you who have been supporting us and have gotten us to the position that we are right now. But we need to keep going. So I want to encourage those of you who are new to go ahead and hit that subscription button and
Enjoy the family,
and
let's push this project.
But today, I want to talk about Uganda, or specifically a Ugandan politician. Many of you may be familiar with Mr. Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine is a Ugandan opposition politician. He is also a musician, a rapper. I don't know if he's still rapping, but that's how he got his fame. He was a musician. And he decided that some years ago, that he wants to unseat the current head of state, President Museveni. But it has not been very successful. Now, Mr. Wine had a song a couple years ago, and the lyrics of the song was deemed to be offensive to the LGBTQ community. And as a result, he was banned in England. Okay, can't go to England because he offended this community. But this week, just a couple of days ago, Mr. Wine made an announcement. And he made this announcement from England.
Now in the UK, because he posted a picture that said, London, it's been 10 long years, so he's back. In the UK, that means they've lifted that ban, and the reason why they lifted that ban is because he has changed his mind. He said, quote, "We grow and we transform. I'm a product of very many second chances, and I want to be known for being a leader that is respectful and inclusive of everybody."
This year that the ban has been removed. He can now come to England. And the announcement that he's made is that he has gone through a transformation when it comes to the LGBTQ community, when it comes to issues like same-sex marriage and so on and so forth. Bobi Wine has announced that he has changed his mind. He now supports these issues. He thinks it should be allowed in Uganda. Now, for those of you who are not fully aware, Uganda recently passed a law that outlaw same-sex marriage and some of these LGBTQ issues. The law does. People said, "Oh, they're going to kill these people if you're gay, you'll get killed." But that's not what the law says. The law basically states that, while no one is going to be looking in your bedroom window seeing what you're doing, what the law says is that if you come out on the street and you have these gay pride parades like they do in the United States and England and all the places, that's not going to be allowed. You're not going to be running up and down the streets, doing the gay pride parade. You're not going to, if children are involved, then there's going to be consequences. If someone is HIV positive or has AIDS, they know it, but they have relations with someone without telling them, then there's consequences for that, because that's attempted murder at best. Okay, so Bobi Wine is in England. Apparently the ban has been lifted, and he has announced that, hey, I have a change of mind. But not only that, he is planning on contesting the elections that's scheduled for 2026. But there's a caveat. Mr. Wine has said that he's hoping that the United States, England, and the European Union would now get involved in the politics, in the elections of Uganda and in the political life of Uganda.
And he called on the UK, EU, and US to put conditions on their collaboration with Uganda that included the respect for democracy and free and fair election. So he's calling on the UK, EU, and the US to collaborate with Uganda.
This is very, very strange. While other parts of Africa are in the process of throwing off the yoke of colonialism or neo-colonialism and trying to set themselves free, and I'm talking specifically of Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and so on. These are folks who are saying, hey, you guys had a good run. You've exploited us long enough. It's time for you to go. It's time for us to take control of our destiny, take control of our resources, and build up our countries and our continent from an African standpoint. Okay. And in the midst of that comes Bobi Wine saying, no, I want the West to become more involved, and I know accept the LGBTQ program, because I see it as a mind program. And I said, this is kind of strange, because it looks like Bobi Wine has basically sold his soul to the devil. Look like Bobi Wine has been bought out. Look like Bobi Wine can be labeled, I would, from my point of view, that's not necessarily your point of view, from my point of view, labeled as a sellout. Now, before I play the video and let you see some of the things that he said, I want to just go over just a couple of the comments made by Ugandans in response to Mr. Wine's. And one person said, I never trusted him. He's a snake and always will be. Kick him out and let him go seek asylum at his masters, those who he's now promoting. Someone said right up here, told you, don't take what a politician may say serious, but watch out for the script to flip, or flipping here, when it comes to Mr. Bobi Wine. A people who can be bought will never be free. This is from a fellow Ugandan. And this is one, I love this one here. Right? It says, Bobby needs to get him a political position in the UK or America. And there's a whole long list of these comments, but I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to stop right there. Right? But it appears that this new Bobi Wine is not very popular with many Ugandans. Maybe with some, but not with many Ugandans. They're like, wait a minute, Bobby. Looks like you have made a deal with many Ugandans. Maybe with some, but not with many Ugandans. They're like, wait a minute, Bobby. Looks like you have made a deal with the devil. That's the only reason why England would lift the ban against you and welcome you back into their arms. Well, if you're in their arms, maybe you need to stay there, right? You can't be in our arms and be in their arms at the same time, okay? So you're in their arms, maybe you should stay there. We're going to do something. But I'm going to play a little bit of video so you can see what Mr. Wine has to say. But I also want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we upload a video. So,
and do not forget to drop down your comment on the comment section. We want to know your thoughts about it.
Follow the voice. The voice always comes out of nowhere saying something, right? But take a look at the video and let us know what you think. Kwaheri. Assalamu alaikum.
Allowed in?
Well, I wrote the lyrics and I sang them, and I took responsibility.
These were homophobic lyrics. These were lyrics suggesting that gay people should be fought, should be beaten. I mean, do you regret those lyrics?
Certainly we grow and we transform. I've always mentioned that I'm a product of very many second chances. And I want to be known for a leader that is respectful, inclusive for everybody. Of course, this is now the same thing that I am tussling out with General Museveni, who deliberately sponsored now the law that
the anti-homosexual bill,
exactly.
one of the strongest bills that gives some gay people potentially the death penalty.
Definitely, and